This D-16 and Optimus Prime are honestly amazing. It's so good to finally have like posable versions of these figures, apart from like the Prime Changes Optimus Prime and the Studio Series Optimus Prime. But so far we've not got a representation of D-16. I know there's a Yola Park one, and I've pre-ordered the cogless D-16. Like, the shipping times have been so long, it's stuck in transit for like weeks now. So yeah, it's finally so good to have a posable version of D-16. As you saw in the intro, the building process was super fun to do, and they're both very, very similar. First, let's take a look at Optimus Prime, and then we'll take a look at D-16. So as Blokees go, there's no painting involved. The matrix is pre-stuck on in the factory, and then the ab detail as well. The shin guards are stuck on. Let's take a 360 look. We get some newly unseen details of the character. Like, I really didn't know that he has a silver back. I was used to the Studio Series version where he had the entire truck roof on his back, so again, the silver detail is nice to see. It does look like the silver they used here has a bit of a yellow golden tint to it. It sort of reminds me of what the Studio Series was aiming for originally, with the yellowish greyish plastic, but now with it being metallic, it looks way better. The axe, again, because this is not the chase version, this is the non-metallic version, the axe remains a clear blue like the Studio Series version. I'm pretty sure the metallic version has orange tints on the side. A bit of a bad luck that I didn't get the metallic version. Taking a closer look at the head sculpt, it is very, very nice. I like the matrix detail as well. It looks like it's glowing because of the picture and everything. Overall, the build is super solid on this figure. I did try to sort of swap a maskless face onto this head. I did use Hound's one. So far, it is unsuccessful because of how the head is constructed. So I think we're going to be stuck with a masked version of this Prime until we get the cogless Orion packs. But there's no problem with this anyways. I love this head sculpt. I much prefer the longer ears compared to what we've seen in the Prime Changes version. I did try and do a head swap from the Prime Changes and this one as well. This one is slightly bigger than the Prime Changes, and it's too big to fit inside the cavity, and there will have to be some modification to the ball joint inside this head in order to accommodate the Prime Changer version. So best to keep this Blokees head on the body for now. The axis detail is really, really nicely picked out. It is plugged via this ball joint. You have to remove the fist to do it. Like, that ball joint lends itself to more poses. Like, if you angle it upwards, you can utilize the ball joint and angle the axe upwards as well to make it look like it's a more smooth motion. Articulation wise, they're both the same except for the elbows on Megatron. I'm going to do the articulation showcase on Optimus and then point out the elbows on D-16. So the head is on the ball joint, full 360, and then left and right, a slight tilt. Optimus's shoulders don't have the butterfly joint because this front chest piece has new ball joints attached to it. What you're left with is just the 360 at the elbow and then upwards movement like that, just ball joint stuff. The shoulder pads are on friction nubs, so they can angle up and down. The elbows are on this universal joint, so you can get rotation at the elbow and then a 90-degree bend as well. And as mentioned before, the fists and axe are on this ball joint. The waist is on a swivel. The legs kick up almost 90 degrees. It's slightly hindered by his diaper. Bring it down, kicks up a lot and kicks back again almost 90 degrees, and again hindered by the diaper. There's a rotation at the knee and then a 90-degree bend as well. This time it's over 90 degrees, which is very nice, and then some ankle tilt as well. Overall, this is a very nice representation of Optimus Prime. It captures his slenderness in the film, like the skinny waist and the skinny thighs as well. Comparing him to the Studio Series version, again, I do prefer the Blokees look compared to the Studio Series version. The Studio Series does look fairly blocky, no pun intended, compared to the blocky version. This Optimus Prime also comes with a tracker blaster. I've given it to Studio Series Optimus Prime. The peg is a slightly bigger than 3mm peg, so it doesn't peg into core classes, it doesn't peg into the one step. I've used some blue tack to wrap it around the peg and shove it into Optimus Prime's fist. That's it for Optimus Prime. Let's finally take a look at D-16. This D-16 is amazing. I really like the head sculpt. It does capture his angry sort of look really, really nicely as well. Taking a closer look, this D-16 features yellow eyes which is accurate for this form of D-16. Really like his bucket head. He's got the Megatronus decal on his shoulder, the sort of Decepticon logo on his chest. I'm not going to talk more about it because that's sort of spoilers. Taking another 360 look of the figure, he has a very sort of accurate backpack to the Studio Series version, which I presume is accurate to the movie. He does feature both of his arm cannons, one skinny one and one big one. As mentioned before in the articulation section in Optimus Prime's part, the shoulders are slightly weird, so this orientation is how it's shown on the box and in the instructions as well. This grey piece is meant to face forwards. If you want the cannon to be in the movie accurate position on the side of his arm, then he's stuck with gorilla fists. What we have to do in order to have it better articulation is to rotate the arms forwards like that, so the black parts of the elbow are facing us. That way we get a bend at the elbow, but unfortunately both cannons are now stuck on the underside of his arm. But if you're posing him in that sort of Decepticons rise up pose, the cannon is on the bottom, but it's in the foreground, so it doesn't really matter. But other than that, the articulation is almost identical to Optimus Prime's. What's different, again, as mentioned before, are these butterfly joints. Megatron still retains the stock torso from the Blokees, so you have to attach that butterfly hinge when you're assembling Megatron. For a quick size comparison, these two are the same size, head to head. Like if you put their base plates on their heads, the base plate is level. Yeah, these two look gorgeous together. And before I forget, like all the Blokees, they also come with a base for them. Like all Blokees, they also come with a spare set of hands. This is Megatron's version, and he comes with a pair of open hands, just like Optimus's ones. So yeah, final thoughts, these are definitely worth getting. They are really, really fun. If you're able to find them out in the wild, take your chance and pick up a box or two. Hopefully you will get these two as well, because these two look super nice together. I did hope that D-16 would have some metallic like Optimus Prime here. This dark grey is pretty fine to me as well. Yeah, highly recommend picking these two up. They're posable, they're fun, they're pocket sized. I picked them up on AliExpress. That was £44 for the whole case, including postage as well. With that postage, it was like £34, I think. So definitely a good deal. It was that would sort of equate them to retail price in Hong Kong. Stay tuned for more Blokees unboxings and reviews. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, stay safe and goodbye.